everybody, CinemaStick this here with another weekly watch video for you, where we take a look at all the titles that I've recently been watching, and I briefly discuss them. So like always, let's just get right down to it and take a look at what I've recently been checking out. So the first title up here was definitely a great one, and that was Non-Stop. Enjoyed the hell out of this movie. Great Liam Neeson movie. He's a great action star. I've just been really digging his recent movies. Definitely enjoyed this one as well. Great suspenseful movie, all about Liam Neeson, who's an air marshal, and we have somebody setting him up, killing somebody on a plane every 30 minutes. Very interesting the way they go about doing that, but again, they have him all set up where the agency he works for thinks that he's actually the one perhaps doing this. They think maybe he's gone crazy, now he's killing off people on the plane. Very, very interesting, although I do have to say, maybe not everybody, but at least I kind of figured out who the bad guy was pretty quickly into it. I mean, when they first initially showed the bad guy, I'll admit that I didn't know at first it was him, but after maybe like a couple more minutes, you know, like 20 minutes or so afterwards, I started putting two and two together. I was like, I think that's the guy killing everybody. Not too much of a spoiler here, hopefully, but his partner who's killing people, that I didn't know. I didn't see that. I didn't see his partner. I was thrown for a little bit of a loop there, but the main bad guy, the guy who set the whole thing up, who's killing people off, I did kind of see that one coming. But regardless, it's still a very well done movie. It will keep you guessing. It does its best to try to keep you guessing. And even though I was pretty sure I knew who it was, I still wasn't 100% like, that's the guy. I was still like, well, I think it's him, but it could be these other people. They're kind of setting these other people up as maybe this is the guy killing people. Maybe that's him. You don't really know. And again, I was sort of still kind of guessing, even though I thought I knew who it was. So very well done. Just great, great suspenseful movie. I mean, a little bit of an action movie here and there, but very suspenseful, very well done. It's one of those movies where I really enjoy how it's a tight little area. I've always been into those movies where it's just somebody in one area dealing with an issue. It's not like it takes place all over the place. No, it's people on a plane, and that's it. You got this tight little plane and just everything that goes on within that plane. So very cool. Definitely recommend this movie. Again, very fun, suspenseful movie. Check out Non-Stop. I really enjoyed it. So the next movie I checked out was pretty good, but I gotta say, and I can't physically hold up and show it to you because I watched it, my ultraviolet digital copy of it. It's the only format I have it on. I gotta say that I've been kind of disappointed with the last, not horribly disappointed, but somewhat disappointed with the last two DC Universe movies I watched. The one I watched before this one I'm going to talk about was Justice League War. It was okay. I mean, I liked it. I recommend it. It was a good movie, all in all, but it wasn't my favorite out of all the DC Universe movies. I just thought it was a little bit bland. Wasn't as good. The story wasn't as good, but it still was enjoyable. Same thing goes with this movie, and that is Son of Batman. Interesting idea. I liked and again, I don't read comics, so I'm sure you guys are gonna be like, oh, it's part of this like storyline. I don't know that. I don't read comics. I watch comic book movies, but I don't read comics. So interesting story. I love that. Batman and I don't know, kind of spoiler here, but Batman and Talia ended up having a kid. I like that because I always loved the love relationship between Batman and Talia, which is Ra's al Ghul's daughter. I always loved that love affair thing they had going on, and there's this great story about how they got it on and ended up having a kid that Batman didn't know about. Batman had no idea this kid existed. But the League of Assassins gets attacked, and Ra's ends up dying, and now Talia's she has to get revenge. Plus, she has this other group trying to like basically kill her off, and she basically takes this kid and gives him to Batman, basically saying like, "Here, watch your kid. We have a kid now. Watch him because I got to go take care of some shit. You know, I got people after me. I got to take care of these. I got to kill these people off. I got a lot of crap to deal with. My son's in the middle of all this. I certainly don't want anything bad happening to him. Please take care of him." And of course, Batman's like, "What the fuck? You know, who's this kid? I have a child? Like, holy crap!" And it's really interesting. And of course, Batman being who he is, you know, he's even though he's kind of, you know, I think taken back by it, of course. He still plays it so cool and so monotone, just barely shows any emotion whatsoever. And that's one thing I love about Batman, which is why I enjoy like the Michael Keaton Batman so much. Is he's so often he just doesn't show emotion as opposed to some other Batmans we've had in the past. But again, I really dig just that about Batman. He's just kind of like no emotion, just kind of like, it is what it is. Let's deal with it. We got shit to do. Come on. Like I love that. And the way he takes on this kid and tries to teach him kind of his ways, because this kid was raised as an assassin. So this kid knows if somebody messes with you, kill him off. That's what you do. Somebody fucks with you, they're dead. That's how it works. Batman's not like that. He doesn't kill people. Batman's like, well, you got to take care of somebody, but let the police take care of him. You can rough him up a little bit, but don't kill him. Let the police take him, and the law will deal with it, which is obviously a horrible way of doing things because it never works out. But it's still Batman's way, and of course he tries to teach this onto his son, and tries to turn his son basically into Robin, which his son sort of takes on the kind of becomes a new Robin. So very interesting. We have Nightwing in this, which is really, really cool. Obviously, I love that. His character is great in it too. So I did enjoy the movie. I did enjoy the story. I just think that all in all, it just wasn't told perfectly. It could have been done a little bit better. So was it enjoyable? Yes. If you're a fan of Batman movies, check it out. If you're a fan of DC Universe movies, check it out. It was certainly interesting. But all in all, I just thought it wasn't the best told story out of all the DC Universe movies. I wasn't like super wrapped in. I mean, I was enjoying it, but I wasn't like on the edge of my seat, like, oh, what's going to happen next? Like I am with some other DC Universe movies. So all in all, it was okay. Again, it wasn't the best, but it certainly was enjoyable. And again, if you're a Batman fan, if you're a DC Universe fan, you just like comic book movies, it is worth checking out. It's just not the best out of them all. So in the end, Son of Batman, just, pretty good. And one I would still recommend checking out, even though it wasn't my favorite. So then I watched 3 Nat Geo titles here. Yes, finally got around to watching some Nat Geo. I've been saying for the longest time now in my collection updates and stuff like that, every time I pick up a National Geographic documentary, I'm like, I really got to get around to watching some of these because I have a boatload of them. So finally decided to sit down and watch a couple. First one I checked out here was The Lost Fleet of Guadalcanal. Very cool. Really enjoyed this one. All about it's the same guy who found the Titanic. He just goes to find this lost fleet from from World War II, and very interesting, very well done. I don't have too much to say about it, but of course he finds the fleet. It was very interesting. It's just a well done National Geographic documentary. If this sounds like it's anything interesting to you whatsoever, check it out. Again, it's Nat Geo. I don't have much more to say, but very well done documentary. This one was kind of interesting. This is JFK: The Lost Bullet. Now, this I really enjoyed because I've seen many documentaries in the past about JFK. All the different conspiracy theories and whatnot. And this one here basically kind of explains all those away because it's really neat. In fact, I wonder if this is on HD DVD. I kind of want to find out if it is because what they end up doing is taking all the old footage, the old classic footage that was taken by many different people from when JFK was assassinated, of his assassination, and they like enhanced it to HD quality, and they can see a lot more stuff now. There's all kinds of things that they didn't know about, and the grassy knoll and stuff like that. All kinds of things that were like very blurry and kind of weren't looking too hot in the original footage. Well, they enhanced it. Now they can make out so much more stuff. They've been able to see all kinds of things. They've been able to say, okay, well, this theory that people thought, like for instance, his driver. They thought maybe like there's a conspiracy theory that his driver like actually was the one to shoot JFK, which is ridiculous, but since they enhanced the video quality, you find out, of course, that didn't happen. They don't see any puffs of smoke on the grassy knoll. It's a lot of stuff like that, and they kind of prove or say disprove all the conspiracy theories. They just like throw them out the window and say, yeah, it didn't happen. There wasn't a magic bullet. They actually recreated the whole thing. They like set the car up right where he was assassinated. They had like laser scopes and stuff, and they show perfectly how the bullet went through JFK into the governor. It's certainly possible, and very well done. So very cool, especially since, like I said, over the years I've heard many stuff on all the watched many documentaries, heard many things about all the conspiracy theories. Very cool to watch them pretty much just completely debunk them all, and really cool to see some of this old classic footage I'm sure many of you have seen of JFK's assassination, and just see it enhanced in HD. Very interesting and very cool. So really did enjoy this one. I recommend checking it out. And then because I watched some a World War II documentary and a JFK documentary, I decided, well, let's combine them and watch The Search for Kennedy's PT-109. Very similar to The Search for the Lost Fleet of Guadalcanal. Just they're searching for his PT boat and they find it. If I'm not mistaken, again, same guy who did the Search for the Titanic, and they find it. At least they think they found it. I wasn't satisfied with their answer at the end of this. I gotta say, they found what looks like a PT boat. They found like there's like the torpedo tube and stuff like that. So they're pretty sure they found it, but at the same time, they like couldn't like excavate it. They couldn't like dig down and like dig it up or anything like that because the government basically said no, it's a grave because a bunch of people did die on the boat. So they said no, it's a grave. You can't dig it up. So they were like, yeah, we found it, but I was like, really? Like, did you? Like, is that the right one? There's no like diehard proof that is the right one. You think it is? It probably is. Everything you're putting together makes you say, yeah, it probably is. But you never really proved it, so I don't know. But still, very well done. Another great National Geographic documentary. If you're interested in JFK, if you're interested in World War II, check it out. Pretty well done. Then I finished up season 3 of The Middle, which really upsets me because this is the last season of this that I have on DVD, and the show is brilliant. I've been saying that since season 1. Big fan of this show, extremely funny. Love watching this family and just the crazy situations they get themselves into. Love all the different characters. They play very well off one another. Very, very, very funny sitcom. Like I've said in the past, kind of like Malcolm in the Middle, but a little bit more with an edge. Like Malcolm in the Middle with an edge, I'd say. So very well done show. Big, big fan of this. Again, sitcom if you want to call it a sitcom, but big, big fan of this. Check out The Middle if you haven't seen it yet. Again, very, very funny. Love this family. Then I watched another documentary, but one I can't actually physically hold up and show you as I watched it on my ultraviolet digital copy. And that is Special When Lit, which is a great pinball documentary. This really, really, really enjoyed. Fantastic. If you're into documentaries at all, especially just about like interesting things, check out Special When Lit. Brilliant pinball documentary. Learned a lot of stuff I didn't know. Like, for instance, for over 30 years, pinball was illegal in the United States. I didn't know that. Maybe that's common knowledge to some of you, but I did not know that. Pinball all started out basically with, it's called pinball for a reason. It was basically like a board with a bunch of pins in it, and you shot the ball up, and it bounced off a bunch of pins and fell into like little pockets, and that's how you kind of like kept your score. That was basically the game. And then eventually, what ended up happening is that the government basically said like, well, it's like a form of gambling, and they got rid of it. And apparently that wasn't all like bullshit, because apparently some people did rig up games to actually like have payouts. So it was sort of like a form of gambling a little bit, and so they outlawed it. It was outlawed again in the United States for over 30 years. But luckily, it was still huge over in Europe. Europe had a huge pinball scene. Again, I didn't know about a huge pinball scene over in Europe, but yeah, pinball was huge over there. And then, of course, the machines developed into what we know today, and eventually ended up becoming legal in the United States because they proved, I think one of the guys from like one of the major companies proved to the government that, no, it's a game of skill, not a game of chance anymore. You're flipping flippers and trying to get things to go in certain places. It's a game of skill now. That's what pinball is. And of course they made it legal again, and there was a huge like boom here in the United States with pinball, and then it kind of like fizzled out. And then I think like back in the 90s it got kind of big again, and now it's back to fizzling out. And there's actually only one pinball company left here in the United States, at least as of when this documentary was made. Hopefully they're still around, but yeah, only one pinball company left. There were a whole bunch of them, especially in like the Chicago area back in the day, but now just one. We're down to one pinball company. And that's sad, because I love pinball, and they're even making a point in the documentary that kids these days don't know what pinball is. I don't know if that's true or not. I can't imagine kids don't know what pinball is, but it's kind of sad that they don't, because pinball is fantastic. I mean, when I go to a bar or I go to like an arcade or something like that, my friends might go off and play, racing games or shooting games or whatever they want to play. I'll go to, into the back and hit up the pinball machines. That's my thing. I love pinball machines. Big fan, especially, like Addams Family, Mars Attacks, the Terminator, all those great, Funhouse. Man, that was so much fun. All those great pinball games. Just a big fan of them, and I grew up playing them. I love playing them today, and it's kind of a shame if kids don't know what pinball is. That is pretty bad, and it is a shame that there's only one pinball company left, and I mean, that's it. That is definitely a shame, and it's sad to see. But anyway, a very well done documentary. Check out Special When Lit. You won't be sorry. I actually almost watched it a second time. I started watching it, and I actually ended up having to stop because I'm just stuck with the kid. So I'm almost rewatched it, and I am probably going to end up rewatching it again real soon, because it was just that good. So check it out. Special When Lit. Fantastic pinball documentary. So I watched yet another documentary with Henson's Place. a good documentary on Jim Henson. The only issue is it's from 1984, so it's pretty dated. It doesn't go into like the whole history of everything, but it's really interesting to learn about where Jim Henson began and the very beginnings of his career. Very, very interesting. I learned a lot about him that I didn't know about. Just about how, you know, him developing Muppets, Kermit the Frog, and him getting a start on like a little like TV show, and then blossoming, and then of course Muppets and Sesame Street and Fraggle Rock and all that stuff, and just how his career just exploded, and he became like the Muppet guy. Remember, apparently Sesame Street wouldn't even happen had they not gotten him to actually do the puppets. Apparently, that's kind of what greenlit the series. I forget whoever developed it, like pitched the series, and apparently the executives were like, well, if you don't get Jim Henson to do this, then it's not gonna we're not gonna do it. So very interesting. So really well done documentary, even though it was from 1984. Again, it's very dated, but still worth checking out. It's pretty decent, and I would recommend it. I did watch my ultraviolet digital copy, and one of the good things is I bought it off Vudu. So if you are into buying stuff off of Vudu and stuff like that, it was only $5 on Vudu. So worth checking out. I'd recommend it. Then I watched, yet again, the Lego Movie. Really enjoyed this movie. Saw this one in the theaters, really enjoyed it. And the second time around, also enjoyed it. Though I will say, oddly enough, and this doesn't happen too often, I didn't enjoy it as much the second time around, which I don't know what that was about. It's not usually like that. Usually I either enjoy a movie like the same amount, or even the second time I'll like it even more. I don't know. For some reason, enjoyed it a little bit less. But that's not to say it was a bad movie. I still really like this one. It has very funny jokes in it. Really good kids movie. I mean, a CGI anime movie, all starring Legos. If you grew up with Legos, you're going to really enjoy this one, because they do a lot of winks and nods to like classic like Legos too, which I was obsessed with Legos. I probably told you the story when I first reviewed this movie, when I saw it in theaters. This basement that I'm in right now, I mean, this is my family's old house. My father passed away. My wife and I moved in here. This basement here was my Lego room. I had a boatload of picnic tables all lined up, and they were just full of Legos. I had, you know, the roads and the water and the land, you know, the flat pieces, and then I had all just towns built up all over top of it. I had all kinds of sections. I had like a city section. I had like a pirate section. I had like an Amazon section. I had, you know, just everything. There was like a space area. I mean, everything. It was so awesome. Loved playing with Legos back in the day, and tons of winks and nods of classic, like especially 80s Legos that I grew up with, and early 90s Legos that I grew up with, and I loved watching it for that. I love pointing out and going, oh, that's that guy, and that's that character. I had him. You know, it's really cool. Very well done. Definitely would recommend it. I mean, even though I kind of oddly didn't enjoy it as much the second time around, I still definitely did enjoy it. I know some people were giving this movie flack. There were some people, I've read some reviews, who just really didn't care for this movie. Maybe it's not for everybody, but in the end, I thought it was very well done. Definitely enjoyed it. Yeah, it's got like this upbeat, positive message at the end, which maybe threw some people off, a little cheesy, but still very well done. Check out the Lego Movie. If you like CGI animated movies, check it out. It was well done. I'd recommend it. And then finally, the last time I checked out, which is good because my voice is going, is Simon Birch. Now, this was another fantastic and well done movie. Very touching, very uplifting, very funny as well. Has some great funny moments in it. It's all about this character. Well, we have Simon Birch, who's this kid born with, I forget what does it mention what he's born with. I know in like a documentary I saw it mentioned what he was born with, but he's born with this disease that just makes him little. I think there's like something wrong with his heart and stuff like that. So he's just very, very, very little guy, and you know, makes friends with this kid who's trying to figure out who his father is, and this basically this big hunt to find out who his father is. And of course, they're really good friends, and just all this craziness ensues through this search for his father. And it's great because Simon Birch, the entire movie is saying, you know, he was put here for a reason. He's not necessarily super religious, but the kid thinks that, you know, God put him on earth for a reason. There's a reason why God would put some little, you know, make him little like this, and why he'd put him on earth, and why he'd make him survive. Because apparently the doctor's saying this kid's not going to survive like his first night, and he survived. And he's not going to survive a week, and he survived. Not going to survive a month, survived. Not going to survive a year, survived, and so on and so forth. And he's basically saying, well, God put me here for a reason. And of course, in the end, he ends up saving a bunch of lives and whatnot. So I guess that was his reason. And of course, well, You see coming, of course, he passes away, which is a very sad moment, but very well done movie. Again, very uplifting. Had some great funny moments in it. Had some very great sad moments in it too. So definitely check out Simon Birch. And I didn't realize at all that that Jim Carrey was actually in this movie. He's like the narrator and plays the grown up of, and I'm totally forgetting his name, and I feel like an idiot for forgetting his name, but it's Simon Birch's friend, Joe. There we go, Joe. So he plays the grown version of Joe, and the movie starts off, and I'm like, oh my god, that's Jim Carrey, and then he starts narrating it, and it's nice to see him play, straight character, because I miss him playing straight characters. I think Jim Carrey he can do comedies, he can do straight movies, and I would love to see him in more straight movies personally. So very fun to see him in this movie, and just very well done. I'd recommend it. Again, very uplifting. Definitely pulls at the heartstrings at times, but very funny as well. Very enjoyable movie. Definitely check this out. If you like things like The Sandlot and Stand By Me, movies kind of like that, see this one. I mean, it wasn't quite like those movies, but you get the idea. Just movies like that. It's definitely one of those types of movies. So check this one out. I'd recommend it. Very well done. So there you go, guys. That was it. That's everything I've recently checked out. A lot of great movies. Looking here, yeah, I'm recommending every single one of these. Some were certainly better than others, but every one was a great watch. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Like I always say, if you like this video, please give me a like. If you're not already subbed, please do. And if you're not already over at cinemasickness.com, head on over there. Check it out. There's a lot more to see there than just these videos. All kinds of things going on, like deals and whatnot, and up-to-date information. Definitely check that out. Of course, while you're there, be sure to check out Team Sickness. There's a lot going on with those guys as well. All kinds of great videos and reviews and whatnot. And of course, also be sure to click on the shop tab while you're there and purchase yourself a Cinema Sickness sticker and or a Cinema Sickness button. They are dirt cheap, and I would certainly appreciate the support. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye.